My name is Josh Lockheed, Training Evangelist here at QuoteWerks. Today I'll be reviewing how to set up and use the different email options you have available to you within QuoteWerks. With QuoteWerks, you have the ability to send emails using your preferred email client. QuoteWerks supports the use of a built-in SMTP client, Microsoft Outlook, Windows Default Mail Client or MAPI, and OAuth 2.0 authentication with Google, Microsoft 365, and Microsoft Live. With your email settings configured, you can send emails to contacts as one-off messages, deliver PDF quotes, send automatic reminders, and even send interactive web pages containing your quote information with QuoteValet. Additionally, email templates can be customized to provide the same look and feel of other communications you may send to your customers. We're going to start today's demonstration in a quote that I've built out for a new office proposal. We have our different sections here with our different products populated in the quote. And we even have a sold to, shipped to, and built to contact that we've assigned in the sold to, shipped to tab here. With that being said, we're demonstrating our ability to send emails through QuoteWerks, and the first step in being able to do that is configuring your email preferences. We're going to do that by going to Tools and My Preferences. Quick note, this is an individual setting, so if you have multiple users that are utilizing QuoteWerks and you want them to have the ability to send emails, you're going to want to have them go into their own preferences and go to the Email tab like I am here. You'll see in the Email tab, we have a couple of different tabs within it with different options that we can set. The first option that you're going to want to set is your return email address. I'm going to go ahead and set this as my email address. And you have the ability also to toggle whether or not you would like to spell check your emails before sending. I happen to like this setting, so I always leave it checked. When it comes to authentication options, we reviewed those earlier in the presentation, but just to go over them once again, we can utilize our built-in email client, Microsoft Outlook, our Google OAuth 2.0, our Microsoft 365 and Live OAuth 2.0, or our default Windows MAPI client to do our authentication. In this case, I'm going to utilize the QuoteWerks built-in email using Google OAuth 2.0. I'm going to go ahead and put in my email address here. And this opens up a window that prompts me to sign into QuoteWerks, which I'm going to do. It also asks me to allow for Google to be used to send emails, which I'm also going to do. Now, once we've gone through that process, we get this big screen that says that the Gmail OAuth connection was successful. But if we want to test it, we can easily do so by hitting test. And you can see that Google was able to retrieve my authorization code. So we're going to hit OK. I do also want to mention that if you are utilizing QuoteWerks Web, you have the ability to set up your email options here as well. Pretty much the same as doing it on desktop. You have some of the same options, not all of them. But when it comes down to it, the actual setup and authentication, again, is very similar to QuoteWerks Desktop. Also here on our email setup page, we have the Defaults tab. In the Defaults tab, you can identify if you want there to be a default CC or default BCC on your emails, and you can also set a default subject. If you look at the default subject line now, our default subject is going to be the document name that we're working with and the document number. If we wanted to change that, we could easily do that putting in static text or by utilizing our macro button here to search to many different macros that you have available in the QuoteWerks system. Here you can also set your HTML email signatures, and you can see we have a bunch of different default signatures that we have, and you can easily go in and edit the signatures by selecting the signature you'd like to edit and hitting the edit button. There's actually another way that you can do that, we'll show you in just a minute. And then finally, on the MISC tab, we have our encoding settings. This is where you could set if you're using something other than 8-bit encoding, and we set our encode email using a character set as well. With all of those settings configured, we're now ready to go ahead and send emails in QuoteWerks. What I'd like to show you next is how you could customize your email templates. You do that by going to Tools and then Customize Email Templates. Within this window, you'll see that we have our templates associated with the owner, Josh, but we could just as easily toggle that drop-down box and go to all users. If we wanted, we could create a new template, clone an existing template, or delete an existing template. For the purposes of today's demonstration, I want to start by showing you the sample email template just to highlight the fact that we're utilizing HTML to send these emails, meaning that you can format them in the ways that you're normally used to. For example, we have the ability to edit text. So if we wanted to bold or debold text, we could do that. We could even come in and add in images or hyperlinks. And even beyond that, we have the ability to pull information from our document into this email template as well. So if you see here, we actually have the first line in your quote is, and it shows at DI at line 1 description, which is essentially going to display to us the description for that item. It also includes a macro here for the expiration date, indicating that this customer would want to execute this quote before that expiration date. Now those are inserted into this particular template utilizing macros, which you can view by toggling the drop-down box here, and you can search those by using the magnifying glass. So for example, if we wanted to put our bill to contact name as our heading, so dear bill to contact, we could easily use that bill to contact here. Likewise, again, you can utilize a ton of other macros, but really it's so extensible that I'm not going to get too into the macros themselves. Just know that you have the ability to really customize these and pull in a ton of information from your documents. So why might you actually want to use an email template? One really good reason to use an email template is for, let's say, a promo that you might be running. Here I've got a template for a fall promo, and this is really to be used with our shopping carts. Shopping carts are a QuoteValet page that you can create for an individual customer or multiple customers, and those customers can execute on those quotes directly utilizing the link that you provide for their shopping cart. So here, this particular email just says, hey, contact, we have a promo that's going on for a limited time. Here's a link to the shopping cart that reviews the particular items that we're having on promo, and to contact us if you have any additional information. You'll note that we are utilizing the macro for the sold to contact as well as macros for our signature here. Now within this window, you do have the ability to go in and edit the different signatures that are in the system. So if you were to go in and edit my standard signature, short signature, or any of your alternate signatures, you can do that simply by clicking on here and editing the macros that you might want to use. And you might even want to go in and, let's say, insert a picture. So let's say we want to include a QuoteWerks logo. We could do that easily by going like that. Now if we wanted to insert these signatures, all we would need to do is go and insert macro and put in signatures, and it will show us all of those different signatures as macros. Likewise, you can easily clone those as I've showed before. In this case, we've got our fall promo. I cloned it to create a spring promo. Same general idea. And then I also have a check-in email template that we'll actually talk about a little bit more when we go into another way that you can email your contacts. Now that other way that you can email contacts is really more of a transactional way of communicating with your contacts. And it's there for ease of use and for you to be able to quickly and easily send an email to a contact without having to go into your CRM, PSA, or even exit the QuoteWerks interface. We're going to go to contacts, and we're going to look at a particular company. We'll go into Computer Hut, and we're going to hit edit to edit that company. This gives us the ability to access the contacts tab. And in the contacts tab, you'll notice that there's a little envelope button here on the right that says send email. If we wanted to, and a contact has an email associated with them, we could very easily click on their name and hit that and send them an email. Now I mentioned before we had the check-in email template that was included in the customized email templates window. If I wanted to, this might be a good way to just, as you're perusing and reviewing a contact, check in with them, right? So again, I've created this template, check-in, that says, hey, I've reviewed my records. We haven't connected in a while. Love to connect with you. Please schedule some time and we can discuss some of the new things that are going on here at our company. This is again just another example of how you might utilize an email template in conjunction with the email function here in the contact page. The remaining email options that I'd like to review have to do with QuoteValet. So to review those options, we're going to go to the deliver icon in the standard toolbar. Within this window, we have the ability to do a number of different things. And before we jump into QuoteValet, I just want to highlight the fact that you have the ability to email your quotes or proposals directly from the Print, Share, Publish, Deliver document window by clicking on the email button. As you can see, this opens up a similar email as to what we've seen before, and you can just as easily come in and select a template that you've created in the Customized Email Templates window. So in this case, we might have an email template that just says, hey, here's a quote for you. It's attached. Please review and get back to us. That's great, but it's not utilizing the full value of what we have available to us in QuoteWerks. I mentioned QuoteValet before, so let's go ahead and upload this quote to QuoteValet and show you how you can utilize QuoteValet to email to your customer as well. So here on the QuoteValet page, we do have a number of different options available to us. We could view that PDF file, we could set up our multi-signature approval process, but I want to also point out the fact that this reminder options is something that has to do with the email integration that we have here in QuoteWerks. If you'd like to, for any email that's delivered via QuoteValet being again an interactive web page with your quote that in some cases can give your customers the opportunity to change quantities, optional items, so on and so forth. This gives you the ability to automatically follow up with either the recipient or your sales rep after a certain number of days if a certain event has or has not happened. So for example, if we wanted to, we could remind a recipient if a document has not been reviewed in 2 days, is expiring in a certain number of days, or has been accepted but not paid after a certain number of days. Again, I highlight this because these are automatic emails that are going to be sent out and are going to help you to move the needle forward in getting closer to actually converting a quote to an order. Now, if you'd prefer, you could choose to send those reminders to your sales rep or to your recipient and sales rep both, and you can configure those settings directly here. Now, when we talk about emails in QuoteWerks, I think the real culmination of all of the things we've been talking about and the true functionality of QuoteValet comes to fruition when we upload our quote to QuoteValet and send our quote to our customers. So we're going to go ahead and upload this quote to QuoteValet, and we're going to hit Send Email. And just like all of our other options, we do have the ability to change our template, and there are ways for us to also include our QuoteValet link in our template. So even if you wanted to customize this page, you can easily do that. It's just a little bit of work in the customized email template page. So with this, we have this going to our customer. It's coming from myself, and any replies to this email will come to me directly as well. So I'll just go ahead and hit send, and this has now started our QuoteValet process. But before we do, of course, I have my spell check set up. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore Vineland, which is the road that we're on here in Orlando, and that email is off to the races. Now, the great thing about QuoteValet emails as well is you're going to receive notifications anytime your customers make modifications to those quotes. If they have any questions, they can email you directly from those quotes, and there's a number of different ways that you can interact with the customer, again, directly from the QuoteValet page. As you've seen, with QuoteWerks, you have the ability to send emails using your preferred email client. With your email settings configured, you can send emails to contacts as one-off messages, deliver PDF quotes, send automatic reminders, and even send interactive web pages containing your quote information with QuoteValet. Additionally, you've seen how email templates can be customized to provide the same look and feel of other communications you may send to your customers. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. If you have any questions or would like more information, feel free to check out the QuoteWerks help files or contact technical support at 407-248-1481.